heli-cam there, overhead, wonderful shots as Nidell goes down the inside, magnificent move. And Nidell wins the British Grand Prix. Let's face it, if you dream of being a Grand Prix driver, the nearest you're ever going to get to a regular drive is with one of these superb racing simulators. But if you dream of being a rally driver, things are a little different. If you want to drive around feeling just like world champion Tommy Mäkinen, you can buy a Lancer that looks just like his, because Mitsubishi still compete under old production-based rules that mean they have to build at least 2,500 Evolution models every time they want to add new bits. And this is the Evo 5, with the Evo 6 due in a showroom near you any day now. The Evo 5 brought to the Lancer a wider track, which meant wider wheel arches, and it also got that big adjustable wing at the rear and increased ducting to the all-important intercoolers at the front. Now, whilst a 276 horsepower four-wheel drive rally car might sound like a ferocious beast, out on the public roads, this Mitsubishi is as hard as you want it to be. Of course, if you stir the gearbox and open the throttle, there's an awful lot of acceleration available. Indeed, this Mitsubishi will accelerate from 30 to 50 in fourth gear as fast as a Ferrari 355. So in effect, you've got a four-door saloon with the same sort of performance as a Ferrari or a Porsche 911, and all for a relatively modest £30,000. But to really appreciate the performance of a car like this, you really need to join a club and get on a track.
I'm putting the pedal to the metal, here goes.
Not only have you got that fantastic four-wheel drive traction, you've got these competition ABS brakes which enable you to turn into a corner on the brakes, or get very sideways and still recover. This really is a toy and a half. But this is a rally car, so what we need is some hairpins to use some handbrake turns. Oh, that's how Tommy would do it. That's better. Up to the next little left-hand corner. Power in. Another hairpin. More handbrake. And out. Oh. The incredible thing sitting inside this Lancer is that the dials and dashboard, you could be in a sort of executive or a wreckmobile even. But underneath you, there's 7,000 revs available, and it just covers ground faster than you can believe. And if you don't want to be Tommy Mäkinen, if you want to be Richard Burns for the same sort of money and with the same sort of performance, you can have one of these, a Subaru Impreza STI. On the other hand, if you've got an extra 15 grand to spend and you want to do the full Monty, you can have one of these. Based on the ProDrive prepared world rally cars, this is the STI 22B. Subaru go rallying under the new world rally car regulations, which don't demand outlandish road cars to be made, but they just couldn't resist building 424 of these replica racers. Now, in these politically correct times, Subaru have decided to claim that this 22B only has 280 horsepower, about the same as the Mitsubishi. But anyone who gets behind the wheel and floors it can feel an awful lot more. And in fact, 350 horsepower is being quoted as the average figure, and I can certainly believe that. It's also lighter than the Mitsubishi, nearly 90 kilos lighter, and in fact almost the same weight as the world rally car that Burnsy is driving. But the thing about this Subaru is it's a bit stiffer than the Mitsubishi. It doesn't really inspire the same instant confidence. It understeers and then snaps. It doesn't seem to flow across the road as nicely and neatly. And And again, even in rally mode, the handbrake is much sharper than on the Mitsubishi.
Getting jiggy with it.
Out on the public roads, the extra stiffness of the Subaru is even more obvious. With so much low-down grunt from that turbocharged engine, you don't really need to use the 8,000 revs on offer. But with this close ratio gearbox, you seem to be forever changing gear. But the bit I really like about cruising in this Subaru is that look of the bonnet, the look of that big power bulge that we've seen so often going on board with Colin McRae over the past 3 or 4 years, and now our boy Burnsy. There's no doubt it's the Subaru that gives the bigger adrenaline rush and scores top marks for macho image. But if I had to use one of these two cars as everyday transport, it would be the Mitsubishi. And if you can wait just a little longer, we'll be checking out the Evo 6 later in the series.